From the Teddy Belanger studio in Rome, New York, and all over the country, welcome into episode 98 of the Avetts and Beyond. My name's Todd Emanuele. Got Ryan Boyles, as always, along with me, and we have something different this week. This is an ambitious episode. We have 5 guests joining us, 5 guests who happen to be the admins of the Facebook group Rejects in the Attic. And it is an Avid fan group that's a family, and we'll get into all of that. But celebrating their 10th anniversary this year. So joining us, we have Jocelyn Gayboy, Kim Silvius, Michelle Little, Steve Powell, and Michael Gans, all joining us at the same time for episode 98. This is going to be fun. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Party. We're only 2 shy of a Brady Bunch. I just want to point that
right?
out.
If you're watching on YouTube, it's like, Gans is in the middle doing his Brady Bunch thing, looking around. And
It's like Hollywood Squares.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like
Do
that,
that
too.
thing, like,
So the 10-year anniversary of Rejects in the Attic is this year. You guys basically all started this group together. I've only been involved for the past 4 years. I guess it's been 4 years already, which is crazy how fast it's gone. But of all the places on social media and all the stuff going on in the world, this group of people, this little Facebook group that's big now, there's 4,000 members of this group, is an amazing place, a safe place, you could say, a family where everyone was brought together by the love of a band. And it's crazy how this has worked out. So I don't know who wants to start. Maybe we start with Gans because he's in the middle of the semi-square here, or whatever you want to call it. Do we not want to start with Gans? I know, I'm sorry.
Back of the line.
It's your show.
Back of the line. Who wants to start? Show of hands.
Steve and Jocelyn were actually admins first, so I think we should stop.
Okay. Let's start with Jocelyn then. Jocelyn.
Yeah, so that's what I was just gonna say. Was there? We know there's tons of spots and spaces on Facebook for Avid fans, and we just kind of spun off of another one. And like I think it the same day, pretty much the same day, someone was like, "Well, let's start this new group," and Steve was like, "I'll start it," and I was like, "Okay, if someone else doesn't want to start it, I'll start it." And the rest is history, as it were.
So it was a spin-off of another group, basically.
Yeah. So we were all part of the major group at the time, I would call it, and which is still around, and they're doing great. And most of us are still in that group too. But Gans, you'll have to help me with the young lady's name who started Rejects.
Caitlin.
Ashley Blurry.
Caitlin Ray.
Caitlin Ray.
Ashley Billery first, and then Caitlin Ray started it.
That's
So they
right,
started it, but really didn't do anything with it.
Correct.
And then it kind of I think I was number 12 in the group. Gans, you might have been like 10, I think, or something like that. I don't know.
All right. I think I invited you.
So they were like, well, we really don't have time to deal with this. We don't know what we're going to do with it. And I was like, oh, I'll do it. I'll take it over, unbeknownst to what I was getting into. And then I was like, but I'm not going to do it by myself because that just doesn't seem right to be one admin of a group, Right. So I was like, well, we definitely need a female voice. And I knew Jocelyn. I'd met Jocelyn on the 3-day run in St. Louis, which was amazing, by the way.
First where I met all my when I started to make friends. It was pretty crazy.
So I was like, okay, she's cool. She's got a cool vibe. Let's bring her into the fold.
And then Todd Neal. It was
probably the worst decision I made was to ask Michael to help. But then Mike's like, well, we need another female. And it just kind of grew. And we actually used to have Todd Neal.
Yeah.
Todd Neal was an admin, but he didn't really have time. And he kind of dropped out. So
was it you, me, Todd, and Kim?
Nope. I replaced Todd.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought I replaced Todd.
You all collectively replaced.
Yeah, it was the 3 of us for a bit.
Community management is hard, though. Like I got to give my hat to y'all running a community for 10 years because I've done community management in different capacities and professionally, even in open source software, and it's hard. It's hard work. Corralling people in a united way is hard.
There were probably moments where all of us were like, you know what, I'm going to bow out for a bit.
Yeah, let me ask you this. So there's 5 of you and there's 4,000 people in the group. Things pop up from now and again, like time to time. It must get stressful at times, I assume, right? Having to make decisions for the group.
Yes.
Rarely, but it happens. And I think it's good that there's 5 of us. That's why
Right.
it's an odd number to break a tie if there's something happening that
I like that.
that,
Yeah.
that really needs to be discussed. And it's not an accident that there's 3 women and 2
I was
men.
going to say the same thing.
They're the voice of reason, but also the makeup of the group is about 70% female and 30% male. So we thought that would be. It's also not an accident that we're coast to coast handling issues at different times of the day and from different geographical locations. Like that. That's all. It was all semi on purpose.
And we know what time you go to bed at night, so you have to have people
Anything
on the
after
West
9
Coast.
o'clock, like this is crazy
Yeah.
talk for me right now. But
Little
that's-
used to have our West Coast locked down, but now she's kind of moved a little bit farther east. But she's
Yeah,
still good.
now I've got the Rocky Mountains, but you're right, Gans. That was kind of the goal, right? Like to get us across the U.S. So that
Yeah.
we could manage things, because 3 hours is definitely. You've got people that are that are online late at night, and then you've got people like Gans who wake up at like 3 a.m, and so they're so we cover it all time wise.
I was going to say, if you need someone at 4:45 Central Time, Michael's ready for you, because he is up doing life. He's doing life. He's having his things and his job and his whatever the hell he's doing at 5 a.m. I have no idea, but he's ready to roll.
And he took a nap today.
Let's
to be able to do this.
Let's talk about the good stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
10 years is a long time, and who wants to talk about just sort of what is special about Rejects, period?
Man, that's a loaded question. It's that I could talk on that for than 45 minutes, and I don't want to take up all the time. But I think the word families come up a bunch of times, and that's what it feels like. I think our mission statement on our group is a family of friends brought together by the love of a band, and I think that's what we've been from the beginning. At least that's what we try to be, is a family. And there's been tons of times we've come together to help out each other in many, many ways. And I don't want to be the only one to bring those up, but there's a bunch of them. Chris Mall is the one that comes to mind immediately. His wife was in a horrible car accident with his 2 young kids in the back seat. If you saw the picture of the car, you'd never believe anybody survived. And the kids were in the back; they were fine. His wife was in the front, and she was not fine. And I posted it in Rejects as everybody send some good mojo to the malls. And in minutes, it was, what can we do to help? And through fundraisers, we sent them $10,000. We set up an account at the hospital's cafeteria so all their family could come and eat there.
I did that we were at the mall shopping when that whole thing went down. We were sitting in the food court of the mall. So I set up that fund for the hospital.
That was awesome.
While I was at the mall in the food court with my kids. And I think I jumped on, we got word, and I jumped onto Facebook, and where are they? Is it Hattiesville? Was that where?
Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Hattiesburg. I was like, do I know anybody that's close to here? And I immediately had 5 people from different aspects of my life that were like, I'm within an hour, I'm within 30 minutes, and we're jumping on it. And I was like, if I send you Venmo right now, do you have any means to get cash to this family so that they can, they're taken care of right now? But I mean, it was instantaneous.
Yeah, that was a pretty great one. That was the first, well, not the first one, but that's the one that stands out to me. I mean, everyone else might have other ones they remember, but that was,
yeah.
And here's the crazy part, which I remember we raised $10,000, and one of the things that Chris Mull, his wife Jenny, she lost her left arm at the elbow, and they had this state-of-the-art prosthetic made,
awesome,
using a 3D printer and all kinds of cool stuff, and being new, their insurance didn't pay for it, and their out-of-pocket expense was $10,000. It was almost the exact amount of money that we raised. So he saes it all the time that arm, we paid for that arm. So, And I mean, that was a great story. Just one of the many
Oh
times.
yeah, I mean, we've done all kinds of. It's not always been out of tragedy. I mean, well, it is a tragedy because we helped Tanya with her instrument.
Oh yeah,
Well, yes.
She had a
was
broken
early.
instrument. You
Yes.
know, talking about giving back to the band. You know,
Literally.
Tell me that story, because I don't know that story.
well, I'll let Mike talk because he knows her the best. But
Yeah, that was early on, and I think a lot of times people think that musicians have unlimited funds, and she was new to the band and not even a fully paid member at that point, and her violin broke. And she did a fundraiser selling posters and signing them and sending them out, and then we kind of piggybacked on that and sold them within the group, and within a week or so she had enough money to get a new violin. So I think that's the one.
Incredible.
I think that's still the one she's playing today.
How have I not heard that story? That's amazing.
Yeah, that
those
was
were the
I
Red
forgot
Rock
about that.
posters, right?
Yeah.
was that 2015?
Yeah, I
Those
think
were Red
so.
Rocks posters she made.
Yeah, the Red Rocks poster that she designed, she signed them and sent them out, and then we kind of put that in the group.
You
And
should get your hands on one of those, Todd. They're really cool. Yeah.
They are. It's a beautiful poster.
Yeah.
So all of these stories kind of pull into what I was going to say about, by the way, you said I'm Todd, blah, blah, blah. And I wanted to say, hey, Todd, because I'm in recovery. And this group very, very much reminds me of how we handle things there. Like everyone shows up, everyone is there for each other. There's a lot of spirituality in both, but you don't need it to be in both. And I just from the very beginning was very cognizant. I'm like, oh, these people like really seem to care about one another and like go out of their way for one another. On the other hand, both in recovery and in this group, we're not fools, right? You don't want to get taken for a ride by someone. You know, someone comes around to meetings and all they want is cigarettes and donuts and a couple bucks of cash. Yeah, maybe that first time, but maybe not forever.
You make a good point. Yeah, because I think we've gotten a little burned a couple of times and discouraged. And I think as the admin team, we had to kind of, I mean, we personally were offended and mad that we, got taken advantage of. But then we also had to kind of step in and go, guys, please don't let this, make our efforts not worthy of all of the good things that we've done. Like don't let this one or two things spoil it. And that was kind of hard for me personally to handle. And I think the group, we still have to keep them. Well, we don't have to do anything, but my point is that we still want to make sure that they're focused on the good stuff and not the couple of times that it didn't work out for us.
You know what I think helps this
Had a
group a
couple
lot?
times.
You know what I think helps this group a lot is all five of us are so different personality wise.
Very much.
Michael is the principal. Like Gantz is the principal. He knows where everybody's at, where they should be.
Yes.
You need something done, like you need some dirt dug up. You know it's Kim. She's the investigator.
Yes.
I have had conversations with. We won't even get into that. Go ahead. Proceed.
Jocelyn is I would say like the social media guru for us. She knows all the stuff and the ins and outs of technology.
Yeah.
Little is our emotional heart on her sleeve.
Part of the group.
I'm just the class clown. I'm the idiot, but
Not the idiot, but definitely the class clown. And you are our resident
Artist.
Yes.
Artist, yeah.
Yep.
I
But
wanted to bring that up.
oh,
I don't know if it's time to bring that up, but Steve, I don't know. I was just looking through the graphics since February that you do for the group, and I've started to save them and I use them as wallpapers on my phone, and I got one behind me.
Yeah.
But you crack me up. Like is there any ever reaction? Like we should put together you should put together a flip book to send to the band because all of those graphics with them.
That's a great idea.
Great idea.
They've got to cackle if they're paying attention. Like it's just
Jim has sent me a couple texts before or something, and he'll be like, "That was funny." I'm sure the boys would like that, But I don't know. Like I said, I'm just kind of my brain works different than most people.
I love it.
And that's okay. I'll let your freak flag fly, right?
Yeah.
And this
Look at the picture behind me.
This group
Often
is such
people
a
like to
positive.
joke and say Photoshop's your passion, but I feel like it really is.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, I'm probably not doing what I should be doing. That's what Little always tells me. But
That's all right. You're the kid that's doodling in math class, and you got different skills that the principal's trying to bring out in you.
But Steve,
Yeah.
I can text you at like 11:30 at night and be like, "Can you do this graphic for me?" And within like 5 minutes, it's done every single time. It's
Yeah.
it's amazing. It's like
Well,
you're always on the
I
computer
mean, we
doing
got to
it.
give you props for the literally the patch that I'm wearing on my head right now. You helped
Me
us
too.
design
That's
it.
beautiful.
Like,
Yeah.
and I know the art is David's, but you putting this together, the exact typography, whatever we
I
wanted,
appreciate
like it was fantastic. Thank
I
you.
mean, it's just a lot of fun for me. I get a kick out of it, just like how much Michael loves doing everybody's birthday shout outs, and
I do.
I have to point out that there have been many, many times, at least a dozen times, where I will hear at a show, I'll hear somebody say, "Oh my God, that sticker is so awesome." And the person giving the sticker says, "Oh yeah, Steve Powell helped me with this." Like many times I'm looking at an awesome sticker and I'm like, yeah, of course he did. Yeah.
That's me. I've done that several times.
Yeah.
I also want
and
to
he's never paid me.
say this. I've been on Facebook a long time. I've been a member of many groups here and there and yon and hither. And I'm always shocked. Now, some of these are much bigger than ours, but I'm always shocked when I read their rules and they're like, if you do this one thing, you're out. If you say this, bye, you're muted, you're booted, you're bad, whatever. And like, we have like one main one, like you can't block an admin, but I feel, I can't speak for everyone else. It's always been my aim to be very laissez-faire about it. Like, let people do their thing, let people, work it out. We're not want to like delete comments or delete threads. We've done it, but like it's always our goal to not have to it's like the difference between a nanny and like someone watching your kids on the playground, right? We're not all up in your kids' business. But we're on the playground, we're looking, we're on the slide, we're on the merry-go-round. Okay, everything looks great, right?
Yep. That's a very good analogy.
And I feel
for the most part, it's been a very easy group to control. Control's the wrong word, but I think we self-police.
Shepherd. You should use the word shepherd.
very self-governing.
Yeah.
Governing. There you go.
Well, most people are not. I think most people are, I hope, looking at it as a way. Well, like you said, it's a place where people don't have to. Well, you're not gonna hopefully come in with bad intentions or looking to cause trouble, but some people do from time to time. But
and I think that's really been the only times that we've really had situations where the five of us are like, oh my gosh, like what do we do with this situation?
Yeah.
They've been minimal times that they have occurred, but they have been situations where we have a person or persons who has not had fantastic intentions coming in and have taken advantage of our people in some way, shape, or form. Like the good-hearted nature of the people that we're surrounded with in this group have been taken advantage of, and we're like, no. That's where my little skill comes in.
There's also something to be said about it's the band that we all love and the people that band attracts, for the most part, are good and decent people, I think, and the vast majority of the people that are in the group are really just Avett fans who most of them just want to talk about the band, and that's really what the purpose of the group was in the beginning. And still is, really. The Avett brothers are a band that we all love and follow, and that's 90% of the conversations and stuff is about. We don't want to make it sound like we're all a big fundraising group, but it's a fan group of the Avett brothers, and we all love that band. And I think the best conversations in the group are when there's something to talk about musically.
Right.
Right now, these set lists are great. Like everyone's so excited because the set lists are great, and it's so much more of a fun conversation than these set lists.
I think the couch tours have taken on a life of their own. Like
Couch tours are cool.
A real staple.
I'm East Coast, and I can't stay awake for them, and I have to wait until the morning.
But don't you think also like I've been a fan of the band now for like 14 years.
Yeah, about the same.
So, and some of you have too. So if you've been let's say more than 10 years, you've seen the evolution of this band and the music.
Yeah.
So we're not all going to like the same things that are going on at the same time.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool to have that sounding board without being like, this song's terrible. Why are they playing this song? You know, it's like,
Yeah, I agree. Actually, the last album that came out, the five of us had very passionate and differing opinions about it. And yeah, it's nice to be in a safe space with just the five of us to mull over that kind of stuff for sure. But I think it speaks to the dynamic of the whole group, because as the Reverend Powell said, we're all kind of five different distinct personalities. And you know, I always appreciate, Jocelyn, when something does come up and we have to discuss, like, well, what do we do with this? And we all have different reactions. And I think Jocelyn is always kind of the one that says, okay, wait. Censorship, wait. Censorship. And admittedly, I'm most of the time the one that's going, take it down. And so I think we serve each other very well, and we complement each other very well in that. And I think it helps to serve as stewards, or what did you say?
Shepherds.
There you go, shepherds, stewards, shepherds of the group. I mean, because yeah, it's even hard to kind of explain when you don't want to use words like, you know, control, and, you know, because we are very hands off, I feel. And I feel we should be pretty proud of how successful we are, considering how hands off that we are.
For the record,
we don't put that moderator thing, and we don't do the you know, where you have to approve the posts before they are published. Like we just well, first of all, none of us have time for that. But we don't really do that because we want the people to self-police, and we
trust them.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly it, Gans.
I will say, as we say in recovery, this team works because we're not all crazy on the same day.
That's a good
yes.
Well, I want it to be known that I've had several people ask me because of Little what church I work for.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's hilarious, actually.
I mean, I'm ordained and no one calls me reverend, so I mean, what?
So is mine.
Yes. I think that came from, I don't know if everybody watching would know, there's no reason you would. Steve married me and Kim. He was
That's why I call him Reverend. Yes.
Yeah, yes. He was the officiant at our wedding at Red Rock.
I was going to say, you're not married to each other.
That makes me look at your art in a whole different way now. All right.
That was one of the coolest moments of this whole group, though. That's probably my favorite memory of this whole group.
Yeah, that was my favorite day. That was that whole
the live stream was amazing.
Oh, and it was just I start crying. You could just feel in the air, just love in the air. It was just it was a magical thing, and of course at Red Rocks, which made it even more magical.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
Yeah. Anyway,
it really was. Let's talk about your favorite. Before we get into rapid fire, I want to talk about sort of what the band means to y'all, and specifically, are there like shows from when you've seen them, or venues or experiences you want to call out that you feel like you want to talk about? Like I remember Jocelyn, I don't even know if we knew each other. I remember seeing you get up and speak at the Austin premiere of the documentary, and I was like, that woman, she's
I was just thinking about that the other day, because they played Skin and Bones at a show, and I know Skin and Bones somehow worked its way into Jocelyn's question at the Q&A.
Yeah. I am embarrassed because I talked for a long time. It was like I blacked out. It's online. It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
I was with her, and I don't even remember what was said. That was the craziest, most whirlwind trip of my entire life.
That's right.
Yeah.
So my husband and I it was so crazy that I forget that it even exists. So
yeah, it seems like it was 27 years ago.
So we live in northern Indiana, so relatively close-ish to Jocelyn. We're like 3 hours from Jocelyn. So we left our town, drove north to get Jocelyn, then drove south to pick up our friend Pudge.
I think I met I took the train down to Pudge's, I think.
Well, we got you somewhere around Chicago, but anyway, I digress. We picked up Pudge in wherever she's from, Peoria, Illinois-ish area, and then we drove straight through to Austin.
Holy shit!
With zero sleep. Okay.
And I don't even know how that shook out, because it was like Michelle and I, and then you, and then none of us have money, but let's do it. But we got these points for the hotel, so okay, let's freak out. And like, all right, let's go.
We get to Austin at, I don't know, we roll in at maybe 8:00 in the morning. All right. And we are stupid tired. Like I don't know how we were functioning at that point. We're like, maybe they'll let us check in early. None of us having been to South by Southwest. So we have no idea what we're in for. We go to the hotel at like 8 a.m. There's not a chance we're checking into the hotel. So we're like napping on the floor of the lobby intermittently. And then we met up with some people, toured around Austin, went to the documentary Q&A, and then I don't know how we ended up at Austin city limits. I don't know how we survived anything. Then we ended up on one of those back of those bicycles that like,
the pedicab.
We were so hungry and there was nowhere to get food. And I swear to you, we were on the back of that thing for like 3 miles. Like this guy's like, I know a great place. And we were out in the middle of nowhere, like outside of Austin on the back of one of those bike things. And then we dropped in at a diner and ran into Todd Neal.
Nice.
But anyway, and then we turned around and drove home. This all happened over the course of like 36 hours.
Oh.
I have no idea how we did any of it.
Oh, but now without a stop, her and Michelle had to go Waco, Texas. Let's see the Magnolia people. I, to this day, regret that I did not go across the street to the Dr. Pepper Museum because I had no interest in standing in a long-ass line for Chip and Joanna. Like, whatever.
And then we stopped in, we tried to see Colleen Hoover. We went out of our way to go to Colleen's hometown to stop at the Bookworm box, and she wasn't there.
Is anyone else glad they weren't on this trip with them?
Okay, listen, it was
I was
a lot.
on the trip. I had a completely different experience going. My wife and I somehow made it to watch the season finale of The Bachelorette, and they had like a party where all these former contestants were there, and we met Trisha and Ryan, who were the original couple, and Ryan and I took pictures with roses in our mouth.
Wait, this was live?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh.
It was insane.
Oh, that's pretty
So great. Oh my gosh.
You guys, I have to give a shout out to what I would call the 3-night run that changed my whole life as far as Avetts stuff, and that was in Cola in South Carolina. And it must be said, yes, that Jocelyn, actually, you and I have indeed gone to a show together. We just didn't know each other. And I recall waiting in line that you were toward the front of the line with that barefoot dude named Seth.
With the dumpster chocolate.
With the
dumpster chocolate guy. I know that guy. I was there at that show where he found the dumpster chocolate.
He was a freakin'. He like got shit from like Trader Joe's or wherever. And let me tell you, we were all hungry, and some people were a little sketch about it. And I was like, "Give me that chocolate, bro. Let's do it."
Yeah, from the dumpster. We all ate it. But that run that just changed my whole life. I met Chris Cole, who's one of the OGs. And I stood next to him at one of the shows, and then that is where I met my beloved Stacy Joe. And I don't want to cry again, but yeah, that run just changed my life. It just completely rearranged my whole thing.
Wow, I'd forgotten all about dumpster chocolate guy, but now you're bringing.
That was 2014, right?
Yeah.
Can't even remember.
It's got to be.
So 2014 was the craziest year. I go in February to St. Louis, and that's where this all really begins for me. I start making friends in earnest, in real. I'm meeting people I've written to and back and forth. I head to Columbia for my birthday. It was amazing, blah, blah, blah. Then in end of May, I get the news that my dad has cancer. And he had a kidney transplant for like 30 years and was probably the drugs he was taking to keep the kidney
Ah,
probably gave him the cancer. So then I
Hmm.
spend that whole summer kind of going up to Wisconsin, back down to Chicago, and spending longer in Wisconsin and down in Chicago. And I have tickets to a 3-night run in Louisville.
nice.
And I'm like, shit, my dad's dying. How is this going to shake out? So he dies on the 11th. Yeah, it's Saturday. Tickets start on Thursday. And I'm like, man, I can't like miss my dad's funeral or whatever. We get the funeral done. We have the wake. Then I'm like, hey, am I a total asshole if I go to this? And everyone's like, no, you've done it. You've showed up. You've done all the things. Go.
Yeah.
That night, that 3-night run, I believe you guys can correct me.
It was at the Palace.
Other than Good Night, Sweetheart, that was a no repeat 3-night run.
Yeah.
I think someone got engaged. They played November Blue, which has nothing to do with this, but like my mom's birthday's in November, and blue is my dad's favorite color, so that destroyed me. Then they played the new love song, to which I went, oh! And the person next to me looked at me like, what the fuck? And I was like, I've been waiting to hear this song so long. And it wasn't my Chase song. It wasn't like someone's 100th or something like that. We went to this concert next door. Was it like Willie
Shaky Graves
and
Willie Watson?
Yeah, Willie Watson. I was so tired. We had these seats. I literally fell asleep at that show. I felt terrible, but that was
it was like a midnight show.
Was that Thursday though?
I don't know.
Because I'd driven straight. I just drove 7 hours, hit the thing, went to the concert. So to me,
wonderful.
That is like one of my most precious memories. Both as a fan with the no repeat, like that feels good.
Yeah, it was like 96 songs or something with no repeats or something.
Yeah. And just being able to kind of
celebrate
my dad.
St. Louis, remember we got clay pigeons.
Well, because of the dude yelling it, but I wasn't.
Hey, that was a Freebird moment.
Didn't they also play Four Thieves that run? Because they all walked off one by one.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. Because like previous to that, like I was like, I'd skip that song. I didn't really care. And then I watched them do it live, and it just gave me chills. I was like, whoa, crazy.
Yeah.
You think? Let me ask this before we get to the lightning round here, the quick fire stuff. The band, the first couple of concerts here this run, they're playing a lot of older songs, mixing up the set list. It seems like. Do you think they listen to the fans? Like, I know people have been complaining for a while. I don't like to complain about it because whatever, but people that have been fans longer than me have. But do you think they did this to make fans happy, or do you just think that they thought it was time to do this?
The second part. Yeah, a little bit of both, but I mean, they're not deaf to it, but I think they also play what they want to play.
I think they just rediscover their old music.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. So many like people, Taylor Swift, Pink, like all the big arena shows, like that's the set list. There might be
same songs every night in the same order. Exactly.
Right. Yeah, there might be one or two, things that they switch in and out. But I've always said we are so, and it's because they have stages, right? Like they got to swing and ding and whatever they got to do. But I've always said we are so incredibly lucky that we have a band that plays this many songs, and you never know what the set's going to look like. Not even a little bit.
Spoiled, even spoiled.
Quick fire.
All right,
quick fire. Let's start with Steve because he's next to me on the screen here.
My buzzer's not working.
Oh no. We're going to start with Avetts Chase song, and we're going to go right around in the circle here.
Oh boy.
Avetts Chase song, go.
Quick fire. And that's the quick fire? I think I've gotten them all. I would like to hear, I think I've heard it, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'd like to hear Matrimony again.
Okay. I got that at my first show. How about that?
I think I got it before.
No rules. It can be one you've already heard, but it just was your Chase.
I think it's cool live. Yeah.
Ryan, you get to go too.
Oh, am I going? Oh crap.
Yeah. Mine's when you learn.
Jocelyn mentioned mine. We wanted to hear New Love Song. It was a moment when my wife and I were celebrating our 25th a couple of years ago, and it just popped in my head. I heard it while we were on the road trip to go there, and I was like, "Yep, I want to hear that." And somehow we heard it.
Cool.
Nice.
right, Kim, you're up.
I've gotten it once, and it wasn't even a Chase song before that, but I love Die Then Grow live.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So much. It was
Good one.
New Year's, 2015 going into 2016? Yeah.
So good.
Yes. That was so good.
It's the Target song, right?
I hope they brought that back.
I
Gans.
love that song.
I'm trying to close out albums at this point, so I need Black Blue for the second gleam. So I think that's what I'm going
You need to
for.
make up shirts like Vic did. Then.
Yeah. Put that out in the universe. Jocelyn.
For a long, long time, it was The Lowering. Apparently, the first song in my first show, but I was a little bit late to that. I did finally
What?
get what?
Shocking.
I had nothing to do with it. Someone gave me the ticket. So it was The Lowering, and I've only gotten it one time, and I don't know what my current one would be. I'd have to think on that, but it used to be The Lowering.
Okay. A little.
I think Die Then Grow, but it must be said, I am a sucker for Signs, both with Jim and Seth. But I would really like to hear Signs soon.
Maybe they do it together sometime.
Oh my God, I will die. I will cry
be cool.
and then I will die.
Cry then die.
Cry then die. Die then grow.
And mine is When You Learn. I think I don't know if anyone heard me say that
that's a
before.
great
I would love to hear that one live. All right, next one. Starting with Steve again. Favorite, and this was a post on Rejects actually last week, I think. I think Gans may have put it up. Anyway, favorite performer you discovered because they opened for the Avetts.
Oh.
These are hard questions, Todd. Come on.
Probably,
I know they get better.
Probably Brandy Carlisle.
Okay.
Because she was doing it before she was even known. Kind of like it used to be Nicole Atkins all the time. You remember that? She was
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
You opened my first show.
Brandy's came along, but probably, yeah. And I've gotten to appreciate Brandy's music more within the last year. So, yeah.
Okay. That's a good one. Ryan.
Oh, mine's easy. I mean, I discovered this guy because of them. David
Yeah.
Childers.
Yeah.
Thanks for making us look bad there, Ryan. Jeez.
I'm sorry. It's just too obvious.
What kind of show is this?
It's a hit job. That was a hit job.
Yep.
That's a good one though.
Make the idiot go first.
Kim.
Oh my gosh. So Brandy Carlisle, obviously, like huge Brandy fan. So many, like legitimately so many. One that's like really small is the Mike and Ruthie band.
Oh yes, I love them so much.
I absolutely adore them. So Nako, we had tried to listen to before we went to Red Rocks and they opened for him, and I was like, nah. And then we experienced that whole thing, and we listened to Nako quite a bit. Like, just, I think there's only been one opening act that I was like, what is happening here? But I guess at the top of the list is definitely Brandy for me, if I have to boil it down.
Gans.
Well, I don't want to keep saying Brandy Carlisle. It seems to repeat, but so I'll say Langhorne Slim.
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh.
Had no idea who he was before the Avetts, and man, that guy is something special.
Mm-hmm.
Agree.
There's so many honorable mentions too.
Oh yeah.
So
Jocelyn?
I did not see him open for the Avetts. My friend Kendall and a bunch of other people, Langhorne Slim. I'm like, who is this dude? And Kendall called me one night and she said, I have a ticket to City Winery. And I was like, you know what? I trust Kendall. Like, I'll go. And I was riveted from moment go to moment stop. And I was like, instant fan, like on board right now. I actually have some fun pictures from that night. But yeah, so it's gotta be Langhorne Slim.
Yeah, one of my absolute favorite pictures from a show is actually Jocelyn and I are in the crowd at a Langhorne show in the weirdest festival in Chicago. Remember that little it was like an environmental green fest that we went to? We met up. It was Father's Day. Jessica Lee Mayfield was there that day too.
I remember none of my life.
I'll have to put it, but there's a photo that someone else took that I stumbled on, and Jocelyn and I are in the crowd, and Sean is like right there with us.
Someone needs to read the definition of rapid fire to Kim.
Sorry.
All right, little go. Or no, Jocelyn, you get Langhorn. Little go.
Yeah, little.
I same Sean, 100%. I love that boy so much. I feel so lucky because I have had many opportunities to sit and talk with him, and I adore that man. He speaks to my heart. I love everything about him.
Good answer. Good answer. All right, mine is Sierra Farrell. If anyone.
Oh
yeah, yes. Oh my God, yes. Yeah.
This show's a setup.
She's also the only one I've seen open for the Avetts. But anyway,
That's funny.
but I love her. All right, rapid fire back to Steve. Favorite ice cream flavor? Go.
Butter pecan.
Okay.
I'm old. I'm a boomer.
Ryan.
Oh,
He's thinking.
praline, like caramel praline, something. I don't know, something like that.
I swear I get thrown under the bus for this one. Mint chocolate chip.
There's
Oh,
nothing wrong with that. That's
All right.
good.
That's my answer too, is mint chocolate chip. I mean, if I'm out buying ice cream, it's mint chocolate chip. Like at our ice cream stand. If I'm buying ice cream to take home, it's Cherry Garcia.
Perry Garcia's my answer.
Yeah.
That's my answer. That's the best. Oh,
Well, we agree
never
on
tried
food.
it.
I know it's crazy that we're agreeing on food. No bananas. No. Draw the line there. All right. Sorry, I cut.
For me,
Jocelyn, you're up.
it's a two-way tie, both old grandma flavors, butter pecan and strawberry.
Oh yeah.
Strawberry works.
I'm a butter pecan girl.
Wow.
Wow.
3 of you.
Can I change my answer? No.
You're allowed to.
You're making me hungry because I'm on a sugar fast and you are killing me right now.
Oh my God. Sorry. I did not know that going into this. All right. Here's a good one. Back to Steve. Best thing you've ever snuck into a concert venue?
Ooh,
Oh,
breaking the law.
okay. I'm
Legally
so ready for this.
snuck in. I could say
You could just make up a dumb answer.
Kim
Too.
Gantz because she's small enough. No.
Or a raincoat or something.
I'm sure it was a flask of something, probably something made in Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Certain bourbon.
All right, Ryan, have you ever snuck anything in?
No, but I'm the idiot that always forgets that I'm about to take something in that I can't take in, and then I have to like hide it. So I've like had a really, really nice pocket knife that
Oh shit.
I had to like hide outside the
outside?
venue in Wilmington. Like I had to like I put it. It was like we were lined up on a dock. It was this. So I was terrified I was going to lose it, and it was sentimental to me. But I luckily came back
This
out.
weird bearded guy's planting something in the shrubs.
It's only a knife. Don't worry.
I know. I've sacrificed a lot of things to TSA. Let's put it like that.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yes,
All right,
I'm in
Kim?
the same vein with Ryan. I'm really bad about almost accidentally taking things in. And we lost a family member's super fancy wine or bottle opener at Red Rocks. We were in line with it and we hid it under a rock of all things at Red Rocks. And it wasn't there when we went back out.
Oh damn.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
It's probably because all the rocks look the same.
Yeah, right. In hindsight, it's probably still there.
Gans.
This is a crazy story. I snuck an engagement ring into Red Rocks
Oh.
to propose, and it was in my pocket, and it actually set off the metal detector, and Kim was standing right in front of me.
Oh.
And I had to stick my hand in my pocket and grab the ring and go like this and hold it up like I have nothing. And when they wound it
Oh, ninja
time,
move.
it fell off.
Nice.
So,
That is slick.
That's
so yeah, that
great.
was
Wow.
Sleight of hand. So we're gonna call you
Top
sleight of
down,
hand
Jocelyn.
Gans now.
yeah, that was a crazy one.
That's a really good one, though.
I was in sheer panic
All right, I
mode.
think you win the prize. Maybe.
Imagine having to drop on a knee right then and there. And
Oh, I
Yeah,
would have.
you're right. I didn't want to have to do this.
Exactly.
yeah, I didn't want to do
Meanwhile,
this.
all the rest of us are holding on to our tea lights, waiting for because they played. What was the song that they played? Give
All
Me
my
a Kiss.
Mistakes.
Yes.
Give me.
Oh,
a
Give Me a
Kiss.
Kiss was first, yeah.
Give Me a Kiss was the we knew from the band that when they played Give Me a Kiss, that was our signal to get ready for the knee drop and because the next song was All My Mistakes.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So that would have been disastrous if you would have
Yeah.
had to do it right there with the
So much planning would have been
yellow.
done.
Yeah.
The security guard's flashlight shining on you.
He's like, Kim, I forgot to tell you about this plate in my head here. Which would
That's
make a lot of
Ask about it
sense.
now,
right?
but Kim knows about this, right? She's not going to learn about it on the show.
No, she knows. She knows now.
Water.
All right, we're quickly running out of time. Jocelyn, go.
Yeah, back in the day, one hitters weed, and now I'm the opposite. I'm just trying to get in a water bottle that has water, in it, so I don't have to drink water.
Right.
So I always have big bags and stuff. So half the time they're like blah blah, and so
That's mine too. I was boring. I hid water. All right, Little, you got a good one, you said.
Well, I got a good one, and actually, it's not even my story, but I'm going to tell it anyway. Anyway, so we went to a show. Gans, it was the show that you and I met in the flesh, Gans. It was at the airport.
Freedom Sound Festival.
Yes, right. It was at the airport, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so Stacy Joe, back in the day, she was the one that took all of the fantastic photos back in the early times, and she needed to sneak in a camera, like a professional camera that was like this big.
right.
And Crystal Hendrickson, I don't know if she's still a reject. I love that girl so much. She hid it in her bra. Like a whole this.
Sorry, Crystal, if you're watching this.
Yeah. Anyway, I was stunned. I was amazed that I saw them plan it out. I saw them execute it, and I saw her walk right in, and that was it with the whole camera.
Wow.
That's wild.
That's a good one. I like that. All right. Well, last question. This is super fast because we are basically out of time.
Okay.
How many Avid shows have you been to?
67.
Starting
from
with Steve. Oops, sorry.
67.
67. Ryan, we know what you're at.
101.
101. Kim?
I think I'm at like 30-ish. I don't
Okay.
know.
Gans?
Me, 106.
Jocelyn?
I'd have to look. I feel like it's 35, 36, 37. Not quite 40, but in maybe the high 30s.
Okay. Little?
I'm at 96. I actually was hoping to get to 100 at Port Chester, but unfortunately, I couldn't do this California run that's happening right now. But the good news is I will hit 100 on night 2 of Red Rocks. So I think it's pretty awesome, actually, that I'll hit 100 in my own backyard.
Red Rock's 100 shows are special. I can report that.
That's cool.
Mhm.
Yes, that's going to be very
Yeah,
cool.
I'm excited about that.
What about you, Todd?
I've been to 3. I'm going to have 5 by the end of this year. Look at me.
Wow. I
Well,
thought you had like 100.
It seems like it. I should, right?
Yeah,
We're almost at 100 episodes of this show, though. So there you go.
there you go.
98 shows here.
That's exciting as well.
Also,
It
I do
is.
a lot of 3-night runs, so it's easy to accumulate
For
shows.
sure, that's how you do
Go
it.
to a
Yep.
bunch
Yep.
of nighters.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, we are out of time. This was a lot of fun. We could keep talking for like another hour, I think, here.
For sure.
May have to do a part 2 on this.
Yeah, we're
But,
going to be doing stuff all year, Todd. So
Right, that's true. So we can do another episode of that. I would love to do that and talk more about stuff. But 10-year anniversary this year, celebrating all year long. So we'll have you guys back and we'll do it again sometime.
Thank you for having us. We never get to see each other, so this has been a real treat.
Yes, exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly.
We
Yeah.
talk a lot, but we never see
Some
each
of that's
other.
on purpose, Michael.
Oh my God, you're a dick.
Every great once in a while, one of Steve's youngest child or my granddaughter or
me.
Jocelyn will accidentally start like a group video call in our group chat.
Yeah.
And I will momentarily get super excited because I'm like, they want to have a conversation. And then it's just.
And then we're like, no, it's Pip. Or no, oh, Jocelyn doesn't mean that.
One time you and I ended up on Kim. I think Steve
We did.
on accident, and you and I are like,
Well, 10 years of you guys doing great things for Rejects in the Attic. We appreciate it. Please go make sure David Childers gets into the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame. I'm always throwing that in there in these episodes.
Always love that man.
Yes, we do.
It's got to
Yes, we
happen.
do.
So keep calling, sending texts, and all that stuff to them to make sure that they put him in. We'd love to see it happen. So
Yep, for sure.
thank you everyone for coming on, and
Thank
we'll
you
see you down the road.
guys.
Thank you.
Great to see everybody.
Love you guys.